The most surprising part about reading through the Chimera Ants arc has been seeing the huge amount of changes that the 2011 anime made to how it began. And so today, I want to talk about an episode that had new scenes which improved the story, and an episode that continued my biggest annoyance of the Chimera Ants arc so far. How's it going, everyone? My name is David, and welcome back to another anime versus manga for Hunter x Hunter. Today I'm going to be doing things a bit differently by talking about two random episodes that didn't really have any common changes in them, but the changes were interesting enough to affect which version of the Chimera Ants arc I preferred. So for example, during episode 85, when Kite, Gon, and Killua were trailing behind a Chimera Ant named Hagya in order to find the Chimera Ant's nest, a new scene was added where Kite talked about the first commandment of being a hunter, which was not in the manga. While I thought that it was an interesting idea to see that hunters actually have commandments that they must follow, there was never any follow-up to the other commandments from what I can recall in any future events of the story, which kind of made the anime mentioning it a little pointless since we would never know what the other commandments were. In the first anime versus manga video for the Chimera Ants arc, I had an issue with the 2011 anime not fully explaining what happened when Kite first met Gon on Whale Island when he was younger, and during episode 85, I was surprised to see that it actually showed how their first meeting went down. However, once again, the anime never fully explained the reason why Kite was on Whale Island, which was to find Jing, and seeing the anime constantly avoiding this specific issue was quite disappointing since the context for their first meeting was such an important moment that essentially affected the entire story. The last change that I noticed during episode 85 was that the anime added in a new scene where Kite gave Jing's hunter license to Gon so that Gon could give it to Jing when he found him. But in the manga, when Kite and Gon met again during the Chimera Ants arc, Gon was already hanging on to Jing's license since the beginning of the story. While I realized that this moment was meant to be used as a death flag in the anime, since the trio would be meeting Neferpito later on, the setup never really made sense to me since the anime never directly connected Gon and Kite's first meeting to why Kite was hanging on to Jing's license in the first place. Moving on to episode 81. The most interesting difference I noticed between the anime and manga in this part of the story was that the anime added in a scene where the Chimera Ants Queen informed the ants that she would need 100 humans per day to nurse the king she wanted to birth. While the squadron leader ants were trying to figure out how to keep up with the queen's new demands, the squadron leader named Zazan and a Chimera ant named Pike announced that they captured Pokuru, who was supposedly a human worth 1,000 regular humans since he was overflowing with large amounts of nin energy, and this scene was not in the manga. This scene was useful because it provided a smooth transition of informing the other ants that these rare humans existed, while in the manga, it was never made clear if most of the other Chimera Ant squadron leaders were aware that these rare humans existed until Ramat awakened his dormant nin. The other difference that took place during this episode was that the anime showed a bunch of NGL underground soldiers who were killed by some Chimera Ants, but in the manga, the people that were shown to be killed looked like regular citizens. This was interesting to me because this was one of the many examples during the arc where the anime emphasized the dark side of NGL by constantly showing these soldiers during the beginning of this arc, which was great because I felt like the manga didn't do enough to flesh out this part of the story. As you guys can see, the 2011 anime continued to create so many new scenes that mostly benefited the Chimera Ants arc and improved upon certain subplots, but once again, anytime the past of Kite meeting Gon for the first time was brought up, it seemed like the anime strayed too far from the reason why their past was so important, which is why I will be giving both the anime and manga 1 point today. If this is your first time here, a new anime versus manga video comes out every other Monday. But if you can't wait that long for the next one, then how about you check out this video where I talk about some other times the 2011 anime failed when it made some changes to the original story. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time.